Are you ready for the heavyweight championship of the world? Are you ready?
Hey, welcome to Unanimous Corner, bringing you another episode of Unanimous Decision. And today, who we talking to, Bill?
Hey, you heard what he said, Unanimous Decision. That's our exclusive interview series. And today, we have a good one for you. This young lady, she hails out of Cleveland, Ohio, and she's been stamped, and she's worked with some of the greatest in the industry, such as Teddy Riley, Fat Joe, Snoop Dogg, and friend to the show, J-Dub of the Hitman. Today, we bring to you none other than Nefertitti Avani.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
All right, Nefertitti, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
We are doing awesome.
We're doing wonderful.
We thank you for gracing us with your presence. I got to ask a question. Are you ready to jump into this ring?
I'm ready.
All right, she ready, Bill.
Don't knock us out. Please don't knock us out. Don't knock us out.
You know what I'm saying?
You look like you got them hands, though. But
I got the hands. Okay. I got the hands.
I will say that.
Chill.
All right, so we'll start it off. Well, you come from a musical family. Your grandfather was actually linked. Well, he's an original member of the OJs. Yeah. So music is literally in your genes. So explain to us a little bit about that experience, like having a grandfather connected to a huge legendary group.
Well, my grandfather had great taste in music.
Mm-hmm.
So he would play these records when I was younger that just kind of like brought in my taste. You know what I mean? I had a different kind of style hanging with my grandfather and listening to these old records, Miles Davis, a lot of blues, a lot of jazz. I didn't really get to hear from him about the industry per se because he was only around in my younger years.
Mm-hmm.
When my mom was born, he had to come back and be a dad. So he couldn't, but yeah, it's definitely in my blood for sure.
And you said Miles Davis, that's one of my favorite artists of all time. So I am a jazz buff over here.
You got good taste.
Oh yeah, definitely. Listen, Levert, the OJs,
yes,
Rude Boys,
yes,
Men at Large.
Okay.
Avant, you know where I'm going, right?
I don't know where you're going, but I hear these names.
But I'm Cleveland.
Oh yeah. So, we in this thing. Rogers, so come on.
So you are from a musical city. The bar has been set extremely high as far as we're going to use the word singing, or we're going to take that away and use singing. All right. So that bar is set to the highest it can get. Because you're talking about Gerald, Jason, and Dave, and them boys, and Joe. So that bar is set very, very high. Did you set any expectations for yourself to meet or exceed that bar that was set prior to you?
I didn't, and the reason why is because I create from a different space. Like I wasn't coming into the industry trying to compete. I came here because this is really what I truly love to do. Like this is where my heart is. This is where my soul is, where my joy is. And so I didn't really have this mindset like, oh, I gotta be like, I didn't have that thought process. I just knew that I was in love. Okay. That's what I knew. And so I'm glad that the bar is set high though, so that people can know what's up. People know what's coming. You know what I'm saying? When I let them know.
We actually had played around with an idea that if you had a city and you put that group of singers together, what city is going to come out on top? And your city mates said, basically nobody wants to smoke with Cleveland. So
nobody don't want to smoke, bro.
Now California and Georgia steals Cleveland artists and they try to take credit for it.
Everybody steals Cleveland, but everything.
When it comes to being born and raised in a particular city, I think something in the water out there. And it does.
Well, you know what it is? Vocals. What it really is when you're born in Cleveland, you cannot see with your eyes. what you want, but you know who you are. And so there's nobody here there, the market is not here. You know what I mean? This is not, you can't go down the street and see somebody famous, Halle Berry now walking down the street. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so it pushes you to really, really, really be strong. You know, if you can make it out of Cleveland, you can make it anywhere. That's a fact. Yeah. So it just births like these multifaceted like geniuses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even hearing like Bone with their harmonizing.
Yeah.
It's in Cleveland. You know what I mean?
It's over here.
It's something that wood up there in Cleveland. So keep it to yourselves, don't spread it around. Keep all that talent right there to yourselves. But also doing some research, I learned that you were a big fan of Beethoven.
Yes.
I played the violin, so I was classically trained for a while, not a long time. So violin and cello. So 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. So I have an infatuation for classical music as well. So I think canon in D minor, D major, either one. That's probably my favorite classical piece. But what exactly drew you to classical music?
Disney movies. Like when I was younger and I was watching Disney movies and I would just hear the scoring and the songs and I was like, it was it for me, because I like the reason why I like jazz and blues so much is because the patterns aren't so repetitive. It's challenging. You have to think. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't listening to music trying to sing along. I wasn't listening to music trying to like dance. Like I was listening to music like, what the is that? Like, how do I do that? Like, that's how I came to music. So yeah, Disney movies led me to classical music for sure.
And there's, sorry, Barry,
no, you got it.
Okay, there's a challenge that's been going on. I seen Samart Joy. She did it. I believe who else? Coco. I think Coco Jones did it. The Princess and the Frog song. They've been re-singing that. So nice. Disney, I need you to go ahead and jump on that challenge as well. Since you're Disney and I love
Disney. I love Disney, but you know what I hate? I hate doing covers.
Okay.
Because I'm a songwriter. Like my first thing is like songwriting. Like I'm in love with songwriting more than I'm in love with singing. So that's why I was never like a cover artist singing other people's songs. Like I was trying to write my masterpiece. You know what I mean? I was trying to write my Disney score.
Okay. Hey.
Yeah.
So so in the midst of you learning about your perfecting your craft and owning it, I'm a huge Teddy Riley fan. So he's done a good job of staying out of the limelight for the last couple of years. You know, like you were one of the artists that actually drew him out of hiding. So the story goes, he sent you a text message in 2018, and he wanted to work with you. So what was that experience like collaborating with Teddy Riley?
Oh my gosh. You guys, I'm about to get emotional.
Go ahead.
God.
Feel free.
Wait.
Let yourself at home.
No, because
got some tissues for you.
What happened was, a friend of mine's like introduced us. So she played him some of my stuff and he was interested, and that's how the text happened. Shout out to V1 for that link. But so when I was like, oh my gosh, Teddy Riley, because at the same time I am younger. So I didn't know like all these people that I was meeting, I didn't know like they're everything. I knew some things, but I didn't know everything. So I went down this whole like rabbit hole of like Teddy Riley, watching interviews, YouTube, like going crazy because I knew we were gonna meet. And I remember like being in the living room and I just broke to my knees because every song that I was in love with, Teddy had something to do with it. It was the craziest thing I had ever discovered in my life, but that's just one part.
Okay.
So then I actually go to Teddy's house and we'll meet and we're working and everything. And I just happened to be on Instagram. I'm upstairs because he let me stay in a suite upstairs. His house is huge, it's beautiful. So I'm in the suite and I'm on Instagram, and it's this post that comes up, and it's talking about Remember the Time. Love Michael Jackson, huge fan. If you guys remember, Michael Jackson put Nefertiti as the main girl in the video.
Sure did.
Right?
Yeah.
But no, that wasn't the only thing. The video was released on my birthday.
That's crazy.
And
Whoa.
I discovered this at Teddy Riley's house. So I went downstairs. I was like, oh my God, Teddy. Like, did you like, and it was just the craziest thing. And I was just so happy to be with somebody who put so much in me musically. When I tell you, that is, am I going to say that? Yeah, I'm going to have to say that is my favorite genre. Well, that's one of my favorite genres in music. And so it crafted me so much, and it influenced my sound so much. So to be in the space where I got to give it back to who gave it to me, astounding. And
to be clear, your favorite genre as in
New Jack
R&B or New Jack Swing?
New Jack
All right,
Swing.
there we go.
Okay.
All right, making sure.
Jackson.
Yeah. And wait, just one more question. What do you think drew Teddy in with you? Was it the vocals or the songwriting or just the whole package?
He heard himself.
Yeah.
Because like I said, New Jack Swing is probably one of the most influential genres in my style.
Yeah.
So he heard himself. He like, who doing that? Get her over here.
Yeah.
But I think, hearing like, because what he said that, he called me an architect. So he can hear me building these different ways and like manipulating, because really Teddy is a mad scientist.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So he's taking these sounds and these colors and he's mixing them together and seeing what he gets. And it's always like a win. So that's me. And I feel like he heard himself through me.
It's hearing you talk about this, because it made me start to think that you are now a part of that Teddy Riley's tree.
Yeah.
You're talking about Blackstreet, Dave Hollister.
Yes.
Bobby Brown, Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Dougie Fresh.
Yeah.
From the show.
Missy. Because remember
Rex and
the
effects.
Neptunes.
Neptunes. Yes.
Pharrell,
Yes.
You're part of that class.
Yeah, I am. That's how all of it. It was so funny when I was listening to the stories about where he was in Virginia and like the whole Virginia like era and camp and everybody who went through there. And hearing like when I was watching Pharrell do an interview and talk about how it was going to Teddy's house and being like how Teddy is like, he got vampire hours, so he's up till the sun comes up and then he sleeps when the sun, And I was like, wow, I have that story at the beginning of my time. I was like, that is insane. I'm in this thing for real. That's crazy.
Like it's almost like an out of body experience.
Yeah, it is.
Because he's on tour now with Guy. So you are a part of that though right now.
Yeah.
That's insane to me. New single just dropped.
It did.
New single just dropped.
Something About You.
Something About You. It is a banger. Shout out to our guy, J-Dub. He is a musical phenom, play all kind of instruments and so forth. What was the writing process like for you with this song?
Oh, it was so easy. It was so easy because it's so funny that I met J-Dub at Teddy's house.
Sure did. Yeah, he told us.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
That is so crazy. But like when I heard the record and I heard like how the guitar was going, and mind you, I have J-Dub's like arsenal. So I have like all of his fire, like in my brain. And you know, one of my favorite songs in the world is Slow by Tate. And so I always admired that record from top to bottom. It's a masterpiece. And so when I heard the record, it was so easy. It was so easy. It almost just like flowed out of me like water, you know, I mean, he makes it easy. The sections are there, the energy, the emotion is there. It's like cakewalk.
Can you tell the difference between working with someone like a J-Dub, who is a true musician, who can go in and really—
Why you want to do this?
I tell you, answer that off. Okay, all right. So you can tell that it is a true difference.
Okay, well, let me say this, because I'm a spiritual person.
Okay.
And I do believe that there are, and I just happen to be one of them. So I wasn't someone who was like, I went to school for music, but I dropped out because I wanted to go make the music. Like I wanted to go to the studio. I didn't want to be in class. So I wasn't someone who was like super well studied and went to school and, you know, studied classical music, this and that, third. But I do feel like I had to have done that in like past lives because of just what I'm attracted to and what I'm able to do naturally. So I do feel like there are people who may not be well studied, but they're geniuses and they have that in their DNA.
That was like,
but there's nothing that beats experience and time. No matter how talented you are, as time goes on and you're learning different things and putting stuff together, you just become masterful. And so, yes, I definitely can tell.
Oh, yeah, I mean, there are some of the greatest artists of all time, musicians. They don't read music at all. I know a lot of gospel artists coming out to church, gospel musicians. It's just in your body to play that instrument. But I guess when I think about your lineage, especially, you know, your grandfather coming from the OJs and that era where they go into that recording studio with the drums, the piano, keyboard, they're all in there together making a beautiful, putting all these ingredients together to come out with this beautiful recipe instead of, you know, hitting a few buttons here and there. And now I got a little more microwave, I'll just say. Not digital versus analog. Exactly. We're at the end of the analog era. Unfortunately. And it's a sad, sweet goodbye, because I will say this. I noticed that since I am around like a lot of older producers, I do recognize that, you know, there's a beauty in analog that just can't be duplicated, right? Yes.
But I feel like we've gotten enough of that. There's also beauty in digital, you know, and it's going to take a while to get some people over to the side of digital. But, you know, our great ancestors, we praised tools. It's almost like we worshiped tools, something that can help you make a fire, something that can help you get from point A to point B without losing a limb. And so what's going on now is that it's like more time crunched into a space, you know, than before. And so people are trying to like, okay, come on, let's go. And you know, there's people whose brains are really like that. So I think we should embrace digital. We had a wonderful time with analog. And when it's, you know, when we got the time, go back and have fun. But I feel like with us embracing analog and learning different ways and methods of doing things, I think we can create something new that we never felt before.
Okay.
Speaking of innovation and
absolutely.
And when you talk about innovation and newness, you're right. You do work with a lot of, you know, great legendary producers, old school artists, classic artists. Speaking of producers, like, is there anyone that you would like to collaborate with from a production perspective, like that's up and coming or current that you feel will have the same legacy as the Teddy Rileys? Like they'll be here 20 years from now, 30 years from now.
Well, I have to say, I work with a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of really great people, from Brian Alexander Morgan to LT Hutton, Snoop Dogg, to DJ Battle Cat.
West Coast.
I mean, it's amazing, all of these different people and how they create and why they create. And so I would be greedy to do that, because I really am in the thick of it all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I would just say I want to run into people who are like me energetically and spiritually, and who's in love with it as much as I am. I'm not going to say any specific names, just whoever that is, because you don't know nobody till you know them. Then you be like,
I feel like you said some specific names though. Like for I do feel like the names that you touched 80s, 90s, 2000s, and 2010s just with the names that you brought up. So you don't necessarily need to hope to work with those folks. You're already doing it. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Do you ever get taken back? Like, how did I even get here? I'm here. Like, do you ever?
I do.
Okay.
I do. I have these moments where I'm sitting back like, what is happening? Like, what is happening? I mean, to be a random girl from Cleveland, Ohio, with like nothing, to make an impact on these mega stars, to have fans like that, to have Snoop Dogg as a fan, you know what I mean? To have Raphael Sadiq as a fan, to have J-Dub as a fan, to have Teddy as a fan. It's like, it's tough. It's deep. It's deep. It is. I do get taken aback often.
We although we do our interviews and so forth, I get taken back. Obviously we're not the scale that you are, but just being able to interview a Nefertiti, to interview a J-Dub, to interview a the Whispers, or to interview all these people, we get taken back as well. I often sit, and Barry and I, we talk often, bro, do you understand we interviewed this person? Who would ever, I would have never thought that I would be sitting right here today, but here we are. So obviously you have something, your road is paved and carved out for you.
Yeah.
And you just had to get there. Now you're there. Now you just take your drive.
Yeah.
It's just very beautiful.
Thank you. And it's beautiful for you. I'm glad for you, and to hear like your experience and how you look back like, dang, we just did it. Like, I feel you.
Listen, I'm telling you, it's wild. It's wild.
Great. That means you have like a good, you're in alignment with these great things, because you have it within you. So you're able to recognize it, and that's good. That's dope.
Go ahead, Barry.
You mentioned earlier, you tend to stay away from covers. Now here's the thing about phenoms and geniuses. Like if Pharrell will tell you he was like picked at in school because while he was playing his own music, people didn't recognize the sound yet, and they were like, "Hey, that sounds whack." But as soon as he gets an endorsement, all of a sudden everybody wants to join the bandwagon. So the easiest way for vocalists to get put on or noticed is with covers, and you stayed away from that.
Yeah.
So but you mentioned all the names that you work with. So what was your technique to actually catch the attention of some of these legends?
I think it was a couple of things. So obviously the writing, because I was like I said, I'm a songwriter first.
Okay.
So I was actually trying to be a songwriter. So, and my husband, he mixes my vocals. So because we've been harnessing this for years and years and years, it's really good now. So I think just connecting with different producers and writing, and when I ran into Missy early on, she gave me one of my most powerful tools. She said, make it sound like the record.
Yeah.
Even though this is the demo, even though you're writing it for somebody else, make it sound like it's going on the radio today so that they can imagine it, they can hear it in its totality. And so my demos sound like the record. Yeah. And I think that's what brought me to where I was, because it would be certain instances where I wrote this for such and such, and she didn't come through to the session. So they was like, you know what, Neff? You're gonna do it.
You take it.
You're gonna be the artist. You know, even the record I did for Redman and Method Man, I wasn't supposed to sing that hook.
Really?
That was supposed to be for a different artist. But then because I put a rap verse at the end.
Yep, you did.
Barred up at the end, you feel me?
Okay.
They was like,
you did.
Whoa, hold on. And they kept me on the record, and that just kept happening over and over again. And now here we are.
Yeah.
Here we are. I saw a clip. It was on your IG, and it was just like a timeline of Nefertitti Avani, like that one clip, right?
That is so cool to me. I love that.
Like Fat Joe, Ja Rule, Teddy Riley, like all these people are calling out your name.
MC
Doja Cat, yes,
Aaron Reed.
All these people are screaming your name. How does it feel to be stamped by these people?
Okay. I don't know how it feels yet, because I haven't zoomed out. Like, the thing about me is that like typically this happens when everybody is like 10 years in the game. They done did this and then the third, 10 Grammys later, but like with me, I'm just like in the thick of it. So I don't necessarily know how it feels yet, because I still have my head down, and I'm still working, and I'm still diligent. I haven't like lifted and smelled the roses yet. So give me a couple years, I'll tell you.
So you're still in the thick of it. So you kind of
you know, I feel like my breakout year was 2021. So like I'm just still like new and fresh in a sense when it comes to like the artistry, you know.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Okay. Mount Rushmore, 4 spaces, right? You have 4 spaces to put someone on your Mount Rushmore. So if you think about female vocalists, all right?
Oh my gosh.
Female vocalists. Who would be your 4 to put on Mount Rushmore? Now, this is the thing. Because you are eclectic. Right?
Yeah.
So you have the beauty.
Couple decades.
you went back to the 20s to 40s and so forth.
Yeah.
So you may hit us with a.
Yeah, it's gonna be some.
You may hit us with an Ella.
Yeah.
Which is fine. So give me your 4, and it could be even your favorite. They might not be the best ever, but who would be your 4 female vocalists that you would put on your Mount
4
Rushmore?
is such a small number.
I know, right?
Gosh. Okay, so that's so not fair that it's only 4.
It'd be like
that. But
sometimes.
I'm gonna put Nina Simone.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm gonna put Billie Holiday.
One of my favorites.
I'm going to put Doris Day, because I'm big on character. And I'm going to put Aretha Franklin. Yeah.
Say it one more time. She said Doris Day,
Nina.
Aretha.
Doris Day.
Nina. And then who was the first one?
Franklin, Billie Holiday, and Nina Simone.
All right. Just with the names that you
I
mentioned.
love Nina.
the voices, and you talk about it embracing digital, which I agree with. I do.
Yeah.
Occasionally I'll hear music that reminds me of my childhood in the 90s with present day artists. With the way R&B is going, do you feel there is enough eyeballs and attention on R&B, whether that be through radio or however it's being promoted, to give these artists a chance to become like some of those names you just mentioned on that Mount Rushmore?
To give them a chance to become like that. So that era is over. We'll never have a Nina Simone. We'll never have a Billie Holiday. The era of being that in that way is over because it is a digital age.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that someone can't be great. Someone can't be something new and innovative, but how that was in that day. I mean, we have so many different ways to get music, whereas before you had to go turn on the little radio thing and you're hearing the same songs over and over again. It's super saturated now.
Yeah.
But I think it's a unique it's an opportunity for you to more so customize the stories that you want to hear. More so tune into the channel that and the frequency that you want to reside in. You know what I mean? Like you have more options to do that.
Yeah, viewers
go
ahead.
So basically what I'm saying is I feel like there's enough attention on R&B? Yes.
Okay.
And I say that because it's going to be what it's going to be no matter what. It just is what it is. So we as artists, they say if you can't change a situation, change yourself. We can't change the situation. So now we have to be creative and innovative enough and forward thinking enough to be able to come up with the next new thing. You know what I'm saying? To come up with the next way to be a sensation.
And I didn't notice I'm doing this as a listener, but we're basically tastemakers now. I do curate my content on what I want to listen to. I just didn't notice I was doing that until you actually mentioned it, which brings me to my next point. When it comes to you and individuals basically incorporating you into their curation, how can folks follow you to like keep up with everything that you're releasing and everything that you got going on? Where on social media can they find you?
My pages is my name, Nefertitti Avani. That's my real name, by the way.
Okay.
It means the beautiful one has come, and Avani means earth. So the beautiful one has come to earth.
Nice.
Nefertitti AV as in victory, ANI. In all spaces. And stay tuned because pretty soon I'll be everywhere. Somebody's going to be asking, how do I get away from it? How do I not see her?
I know, right? But that's a good problem.
Yeah.
That's a good problem. I do have one more thing. Hopefully it won't trip you up too much. If you got three songs. If you can write for three people, just write a song for three people. Which three people would you give your three songs to?
Okay. This is gonna sound weird because I know they're like in a different space, they're transitioned, but one, Nat King Cole. Oh my gosh, when I get to heaven, that is the first thing I'm doing. Nat, come on.
I don't think people realize how great of a singer he is and great pianist. One of the greatest.
He was just out of this world. You know what I mean? Like how it's unreal. Like he sounds like the perfection of digital. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, and then I could just go on and on, but okay. Nat King Cole for sure. And then Michael Jackson.
I can see it.
Michael Jackson. And let me see. Because it's two people right now, but I would want to pick.
Well, you can
because
mention
those
both.
are
both.
guys. So
Yeah, we'll get-
Mention both.
I'm
Mention
trying
both.
to like put variety
you a
into
freebie.
it.
We'll give you a freebie.
Okay. So Doris Day, I keep going back to like the character of her voice, like how it was like the texture of her voice. Like it was like when you put on like 100% cotton, like no mix, 100% like Egyptian cotton. When you put it on your skin, it just feels different. And she was fun. Like her character was like, it was sexy and it was fun, but she meant it. I'm like, damn, that's cold. And then I was thinking Barbara Streisand. So I didn't know who I was gonna pick. So y'all said I could do both.
Yeah, we gave you a freebie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
go ahead,
yeah.
Bill.
No, I mean, again, like I stated, eclectic.
Yeah.
Eclectic.
Yeah.
You
for
have
sure.
your is broadened. So with that makes you who you are.
Yeah.
And I think that, in my opinion, that helps you be able to create in a different space outside of the norm.
Yeah.
So,
technology. In my little bit of lifetime, I've been able to absorb all of these artists at one time.
Yeah.
So it kind of like propels me in a way that I wouldn't be able to do if it was still like the analog world where you had to go actually to the show. Like, how would I get to New York to go see Barbara Streisand? How would I get to, you know what I mean? So
I feel like you would have found a way to get the record. Only like you what I mean by
that's
that is
the truth.
Yeah, anybody else, I'm counting them out, but you may have dropped out of music school, but you got your tutelage elsewhere. I could just see it by your taste in music. So that's beautiful. But
I want to go ahead and give you your flowers. Because you're going to be here to stay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You have very beautiful music.
Thank you.
And again, you pull from so many different places. So the world is on watch right now. You have the backing of the musical icons. And whatever we can do on our platform to help push your music out, that's what we're going to do.
Thank you.
We're young, but I tell you, we're going to do what we're going to do, and we're going to push it as far as we can. So today we want to go ahead and give you your flowers now, because we already know what's going to happen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now.
Thank you. I love that. What kind of flowers are they? Are they tulips? Those are my favorite.
It's a mixture.
They're two.
It's a variety to match your taste in music.
It's a variety.
Yeah.
We'll start with the tulips.
Got some tulips in there, some roses, some daisies.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Bill. I definitely see why her name keeps coming up. You know, it's just it's like watching a biopic and you're like catching all the beats. And I just feel like if we're projecting a couple years out, I really feel like you're going to be in that same class with a lot of the individuals that have kind of latched on for mentorship with you. So just keep it up. And we're in the audience looking at your story, and we love what we're seeing. Bill, we got a chance to interview a future legend with Nefertitti today. When it comes to other folks that we should be bringing on, what is a way that the fans could give us their opinion on that?
They know what to do. Go to the comment section. We call it My 2 cents, to leave you 2 cents. Whoever comes across your mind that we possibly can interview, just let us know and put it in the comment section. If you have any questions for Nefertitti, if you want to give her flowers, drop it in the comment section. You guys know what to do.
Awesome. And then what's another way they could show support, Bill?
Like, comment, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so that whenever we drop any new content, it's instantly there.
Hey man, she went 12 rounds and she did her thing. Bill said she had hands. I believe
She had them
him.
hands. She was hitting us left and right.
Hey, we look forward to seeing what you got coming up next. Hey, outside of that, everybody, let's say peace. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.